Discord isn't just for gaming anymore. It's used all over the place to build community. But it can be a bit dull. After all, it is primarily a text-based chat. But let's liven it up a bit with an AI-powered Discord bot. Hey everybody, my name is Ben. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a Discord bot that connects to the Openai ChatGPT API. I'm going to host it in Nodejs, register it with Discord, and then we'll test it out and I'll show you the inspirational quotes it gives us back, as well as some funny jokes. And of course, I'll leave the link to the GitHub repository in the description of the video, as well as some steps on how to do it yourself. Alright, this is gonna be fun. Let's go. Let's start off by getting a really simple bot set up on our Discord server. And to do that, you have to go to the developer portal for Discord and just log in as the user you want to add the bot as. And then just click on New Application and give it a name. Call mine AI Jester. And then give your bot an icon. I generated mine out of Midjourney. It looks pretty cool. So next, just go to the bot settings. And here's where you want to set your permissions for your bot. So for this bot, we only really need to send messages. You also have to enable message content intent. And that's really it for configuration. There's two things you need to get though from this. So you have to go up here under the bot and say reset token. And that's going to give you this big long token. So just copy that and put it into Notepad. We'll use this later. It's also important, don't give this away publicly because anyone who has this token can take over your bot. And then also under OAuth 2, copy your client ID and put that in Notepad as well. So from there, just go to this link. I'll put this in the URL as well. You just have to put a client ID at the end of it. And that client ID is the one we just put into Notepad. So let me just copy that in here. And then once you do that, you can select what server you want to install this bot on. And then just say authorize. And there it is on our Discord server. It shows it offline right now because we haven't installed the server yet, but it's good to know it's registered correctly. Okay, let's get to the fun part, building out our bot. I'm in VS Code. Now let's run a bare bones version of the bot in Node.js. What you'll need to do is have Node.js installed and then do an npm install in the directory you have the code in. And that'll install all the dependencies. So let's connect that bot we just created in the Discord developer portal. And so to do that, you just go to the env file, the .env file, and put in that token we copied out of the developer portal. So this whole bot is really running this file called bot.js. And this is just the bare bones code for it. So if you open that up, it has our login to the Discord. And this is where we use that Discord bot token. And then it has a listener on message create. And then it calls this bot at this point. So let's just go in here and then any message that comes in, let's just reply to it with something. So we'll say return message.reply. And we'll just say, hey. Okay, now you just gotta start your server and it should be registered. So I'd recommend using nodemon instead of just node. The nice thing about nodemon is it automatically refreshes when you save a file, so you don't have to restart your server every single time. And I put a script in here. So if you look in VS Code on the bottom left, you can run this nodemon bot.js. So you just press the play button and it starts your server up automatically. And then if I make changes, save it, it just reloads it automatically. So it makes development a lot faster. So now back in Discord, the AI Jester bot is online. So let's just say hello. And it should come back with, hey. This is great, everything's set up correctly. Now let's get to the fun part and start adding AI to this thing. Okay, so let me start by just adding in the variables I want to use in this bot. We have a constant that's just gonna be the Discord message. So this is the message that comes from the user. And we're filtering out anything that comes from a bot. That's pretty standard practice. You don't want to respond to bot messages. The next one is negative words. So what this bot's gonna do is if it detects any of these negative words in the message, it's gonna reply with an inspirational message back that comes from AI. So this is going to be our list of negative words here. We're going to define this as a constant. And the next one is just the prompt. So we're going to construct a prompt for different situations. You're going to see that in a second. But I'm just going to define this at the start as a variable. And then next, let's actually formulate our prompt. So what we're going to do is for the first check, we're going to look for negative words. So it's going to look through that list of negative words we have here and then check the Discord message and see if it includes that word. And if it does, then we're going to set our prompt variable to provide a short, 2-sentence max, inspirational rebuttal to this. And then it'll pass in the Discord message into that. We're also gonna have a joke option. So it's gonna check the Discord message and see if the length is equal to 69 characters. And if it is, it's gonna have a joke about two people in love. So that's gonna be the prompt in that case. I actually tried to do it to give me a joke about the number 69, but it kept saying it's inappropriate content. Okay, now let's connect to the Openai API. So first thing before we do that is we have to provide it with an API key. So you see up here, it has a configuration variable. You have to pass in from our .env file, you have to pass in an Openai API key. And to get that, just go into the Openai developer portal and you can just create a new secret key, but I recycle them fairly frequently. You don't want to give these ones away because someone can use it and use your credits. So let me revoke that one, just create a new one. And I always label them just so I know like which ones are which, but like I said, I usually recycle them pretty quick. And then just paste that into your env file. Okay, now we're ready to connect. So, and by the way, on this if-else statements, this one's the inspirational message, this one's the joke. And then if it doesn't match any of these two conditions, it returns. And that simply just doesn't do anything. So like most of the time, the bot's not going to respond. It's just in these certain situations, which makes it kind of interesting for the users in your Discord channel. It's a bit of a surprise when it comes up. Okay, let's set up a constant. Let's call it the response. This will be equal to await and then Openai dot create chat completion. And inside that, the first thing we want to pass is our model. So this is going to be the GPT model we want to use. So for something like this, I would just use the 3.5 turbo one. That's the free one that comes with ChatGPT. I think it's more than sufficient for something like this, and it's really cheap to use. You could use GPT-4, but I think it's a bit overkill for this kind of use case. And now we just have to set our messages. And then in here, first thing you want to give it is the role. So the role in this one's going to be user, passing it in. And then the prompt's going to go into the content. So we already have our prompt variable all set up here. And additionally, we want to add in our max tokens. So we want the response for this situation to be pretty small. So we're just going to give it a max tokens of 100. That'll keep it really cheap to use, and it should keep the response pretty small. Okay, this is great. So now we've got our prompt all set up from the user's message. We're sending it to the OpenAI GPT 3.5 API. Now we're getting the response back in this constant called response. Now what we want to do is just send that response to the user as a reply to their message. Let's just create another constant called GPT response. And we'll set that equal to the response.data.choices. And we'll take the first one in the array that comes back, .message.content. So this should be a string with the actual response from the OpenAI API. And then we can simply just return a message.reply and just pass in the GPT response. And that's it. That should send the AI response back to the user as a reply to their message. Let's see how it works. Okay, let's try out the inspirational message one first. Let's just say, that's an ugly cow. And it should respond, it should trigger on the word ugly and respond with an inspirational quote. And there it is. Every living being has its own unique beauty, and it's important to appreciate and celebrate that diversity in the world around us. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, including cows. I like this thing already. So let's try the 69 character one. Let's see if it tells us a joke. So I got this string I've calculated to be 69 characters. This one should come up with a joke. Let's see if it works. Why did two people in love go to bed early? Because they wanted to kiss goodnight 69 times. So I'm really happy with how that bot turned out. I think it's a bit of an underrated use case for AI is the ability to entertain your community. I've seen other Discord bots and they're a bit repetitive and predictable. I like how this one's kind of random and really funny, actually. If you like content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'll talk to you in the next one.